This episode of Nintendo Pow Block is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to find out more about Boss Rush Media's family of podcasts, head on over to patreon.com/Boss Rush Media to see which tier is right for you. Thanks for helping us build something better. Hello everybody, welcome to Nintendo Pow Block here on Boss Rush Media. I'm your host and light excited Eddie V. Joining me is the one and the only Mr. Corey Derrick. Hello, good sir.
Hello, Edward. How are you?
I'm doing well. Everybody, your favorite Pow Block Papa has injured himself. Me. My pinky finger is
Severed.
had to have surgery. Yeah, I had to have surgery on it, but I'm okay.
He's
The
not
doc
okay.
got
Look at him.
the doc got it fixed and everything, so it's gonna be a while for me to recover. So right now I'm just resting it. I'll still be able to play games and stuff. That's why I only have my one finger up. Normally I have both fingers up, but yeah. So
Or you shouldn't drop tables on yourself, Ed.
oh goodness, not a WWE joke coming or anything. So yeah, that kind of happened to me, everybody. But I'm doing fine. I'm okay. Today's day one of getting my surgery and everything. So now it's just the hidden process that I gotta go through. I do gotta go see the doctor again within a week. And then just probably by the end of December or even January, I'll fully be healed and everything. So I'm going to be taking my time. But I am okay. How are you, Corey?
I'm tired, man. It was a really long week at work this week. We had two
You had,
events,
yeah.
and also I had to go to Cleveland for work for we were there from I was there from 7 a.m. ish, which means I left at 6:20
Mm-hmm.
and a.m. in the morning, and was up there until about 4:30 in the afternoon. So that was, Wednesday was a long day because then we also record Boss Rush podcast and After Dark on that night.
Yeah.
So it was that was a long day, man. And then it would just turn out to be a long week just because two events and a lot of things going on. Nothing bad. It's just, you have those weeks where you have a lot to do, and then you're just tired at the end of the week.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
you posted a picture and you sent me a picture of you at one of your events, or it looked like it was a conference or something
it
like
was
that.
it was the Information Security Summit, which is, kind of like a cybersecurity kind of conference that goes, it's like, I don't know if it's just in the Midwest or if it's like the East
Mm-hmm.
Coast or like all over the country or whatever, but it's it was just one of those things that we decided to go to, and we went, and it was we did the thing. We did a couple podcasts there, we did a couple interviews there, and then we came home and met some people and all that stuff.
Yeah, it looked like I think your boss or one of the people owners was on a laptop in one of the pictures. I'm like, wait, am I missing something?
Oh no, we had an iPad with our podcasts. Like, we do clips for our
Okay.
podcasts at work, and we had the clips running just to kind of show off what we do for people who are like walking by and stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, it was more of that than actually having random things on a screen. So, but it was fun. It was good. a little bit out of my comfort zone there, but that's okay. We made it
because
happen,
of
and
interacting with other people.
I just yeah, I like we have an events team, and I'm on what we call the content team there, which is
Hmm.
just like recording and editing podcasts and formatting articles for the website and all that kind of like that kind of stuff and social media stuff.
Yeah.
So like I was kind of in charge of getting things ready for this summit, and it's just a little bit out of my wheelhouse, but we made it work, and it turned out it turned out pretty good, and uh, met some good people there, and so that was good.
Do you feel like sometimes you learn something doing it, like things like that? Cause that kind of was with me with podcasting. Like I had to learn the ropes of like doing intros,
Hmm.
um, doing outros, introducing guests, and
Don't go back to our old podcast, dude. My intros used to suck,
uh,
which
and
is why I
everything.
made you do it.
uh and it's just like, well, even with optional opinion, like when I started, it's just like, how do I come in? Like, do I have a theme song? Do like I have a tagline? Like I I really like my first episode of optional opinion was like about morals in gangs and stuff. And my friend, he recorded it and everything. We did it late at night and everything. And it was just like, okay, I don't have no notes. I'm just literally on the mic talking and stuff. And then over time, I got better at it. And then hosting different podcasts, because me being a host and everything, like I was hosting my own stuff, so I didn't know how to host other people and everything. And it took a while because working with you, it's just like, I think we definitely had to find a flow about
Yeah,
how me and you podcast and everything.
yeah. I mean, I think we clearly found it, but I mean, it's I so if you start a podcast, 99% of you out there who start a podcast, the first 10 to 15 episodes are just going to be bad. You're just going to have to accept it, right? And
Hmm.
until you get a flow, until you get the right people, till you figure out like the flow of the shows, even. So, I mean, doing the podcast like really helped me learn how to interact better with people, and
Yeah.
so I feel like I learned stuff through that. I mean, my job, I got my job through these podcasts, so uh, I'm thankful for that too. Oh man, when I went
Yeah.
in for that interview though, I was so scared because like I had never I hadn't. It's I don't want to say I have never interviewed, but like I had usually interviewed and kind of failed at getting it right. Like I don't know, man,
But
but
with this one, you from your last job, this one you was just like, it's right up my alley. This the stuff that I wanted to do, and you was just like, you were so gung ho about it because you literally text me that day. It was just like, Ed, I'm going in for my interview. I was just like, you dude, you got this. Like you super qualified and everything, or all the work. And then you text me just like, Ed, I got the job. And then you gave up the other one with the quickness. It was just like, screw
dude,
y'all.
I couldn't get out of there fast enough.
Yeah.
Also, they turned in my 2 week notice there, and they only made me work for a week. I'm like, well, good luck to the next person that tries to learn this job because it takes more than a week to train someone at this part, unless I was just really stupid. But uh,
It'd be so funny if their business closed.
yeah, I mean, they weren't doing. I mean, they were. The car business is so strange right now, right?
Hmm.
Because like everything is just so much more expensive, except for electric cars. Ironically, you can get a
Hmm.
Tesla Model 3 for cheaper than just like a normal car now.
Oh no, didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. And like if you trade in a gas car for one, like you get like a special rebate and stuff. Like Apparently, you can get one. You can definitely get one for under $20,000.
Oh wow. I speaking of cars, and then we're gonna get into this next window, everybody.
No, we're
Uh,
not. This is it. This is it.
uh, speaking of cars, I had to go get a new tire for my car, and so I went to Pet Boys. I don't know if you have one, Corey, uh, or anything,
Uh, Not
or if you,
around here. I've heard of it.
but you heard of it. Okay,
I know the like they do like a there's like three heads in their logo.
yeah,
One of them has a really creepy mustache.
yes, that's it. So,
Uh oh.
uh,
Hollywood. Hollywood.
uh, go ahead, Corey. You go ahead and talk.
Yeah, so I don't really know what I'm talking about now. I'm just doing the thing. But yeah, I mean jobs are jobs are hard, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And going back to the podcast thing, it actually really helped a lot to do the podcast and be comfortable talking to people and like make sure you do research before you get apply for a job and know what the company is about and what they do and stuff. uh, if you're trying to start a podcast, you know you can record on your phone now. The thing is though that like something like Anchor FM, well, I think it's called podcasting for or Spotify for podcasters is what it's called now. So, if you sign up for that, you get a free account and you can upload as many episodes as you want. Because I think it helps Spotify out to get people to go to Spotify and then, subscribe to the Spotify subscription and that kind of stuff. But, we use it for all of our podcasts. But if you want to podcast, just practice, get a person to talk to and pick a subject and just go. I mean, we do 6 podcasts here and then I do 2 other ones, and it's I like to podcast. uh, but I still think that this show is my favorite. It's when Ed and I started, it was like kind of ridiculous. We talk about it a lot, but also when we first started the show, it was not great. I mean, like I said, everybody's first podcast isn't great, but also it just I had been podcasting for a little bit, but it was the first time I was podcasting with people over the internet, because the first group I was a part of, we were in person and sat around a table and talked about a bunch of stuff. But it's different with people that you don't really know, and you got to find a rhythm. And if it even works out, the average podcast only lasts about 7 or 8 episodes. So, we kind of did that. We beat that by a large margin. Hi, Ed. I was just talking about you.
I'm sorry, everybody. A work call from another manager. I'm supposed to be on vacation. I don't know why I
Shocker.
keep getting called.
Ed got called into work on his vacation. They were trying to get you to come in, weren't they?
No, this person forgot on how to do a money count thing, so
You
I
forgot
told
how to
them the
count
process
money.
to do. Yes, yeah.
Thanks for making me ramble for 5 minutes, Ed. I feel like I was all over the place, but it's cool though. It's cool. It's cool.
So, um, but yeah, sorry everybody for Pet Boys. Sorry, Gary. Just quickly. So I went in there, and they got a big place, and they used to sell auto parts and everything. They don't sell
Mm-hmm.
them no more. It was just like a whole bunch of tires. I'm like, I mean, they said they're full fledged like auto store. I mean, auto service and everything. Um, but I'm like, what happened to What happened to all of this stuff? They were just like, we got rid of it a long time ago. I guess they were doing bad in business, and they just decided to change it.
Well, plus auto parts got really, really expensive. First during like the GM strike, hit right
Mm-hmm.
before the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened, and like supply chains were down, and people didn't. It was the great resignation, as they call it, where everybody kind of quit their job and started something new, and people don't. I mean, I don't want this to sound offensive to the people that make car parts or build cars or work in the factories and stuff. I mean, the unions take care of everybody, I'm sure, but uh, nobody wants to work in factories. Like
Hmm.
nobody wants to work in warehouses. Nobody wants to do physical jobs. Blue collar jobs. I mean, there are certain people that do it because some people do like it, right? But like it's hard work, man. Physical labor is hard work, and you know, you still do it for Walgreens, and I did it for a very, very long time,
Hmm.
and it sucks, you know.
And it, I know we're gonna get back to Nintendo, everybody. I
We
swear.
are not.
I literally had to tell a customer on the phone because she was complaining about um complaining about pharmacy. It's just like, why is it why can I not get an answer why this and that happened? And I had to explain to her and told her she was an older woman, and I told her, I'm like, it don't matter what store you go to or what pharmacy you are dealing with, everybody is understaffed. And even if you tell us, well, why can't you hire new people? I'm like, there's stores that have hired new people, but because of the way that they're being treated and for whatever they get paid, or they work one day and they see what they're going to be encountering, they don't want to encounter that.
Yeah,
So if we can't make new people come in and work and stuff, like, you kind of gotta understand that yes, you're going to get yelled at and you're going to get your feelings hurt, and it sucks. It literally sucks. It's stuff that's out of your control, that's not your fault. And I had to explain to her. I'm just like, well, she like, well, can I take it to another, get it transferred to another business and stuff? I'm like, you can, but you're going to encounter the same thing because everybody is dealing with this situation. And
yeah,
she just like, oh, I didn't know. Okay, I was just like, yeah. I'm like, the way that people are yelling at associates in retail because something that's out of their control and they can't do, a lot of them don't want to be in that situation because not only is it stressful, um it could bring out depression. People end up feeling demoralized, they feel up being upset and angered, um because it's something that they're getting blamed for that isn't their fault and
hmm
everything.
yeah,
And that's just in the pharmacy department. A lot of stores are going through that. That's why when you read in the news about strikes and everything that's happening around the world, it's because people want not only better pay, but they want to be treated better.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. I mean,
so
that's a big part too. Is like I think a lot of people over the years have felt like they needed to stay at a job for security, and that um and some people, stay at a job because they feel like, that where they work, like they're the workhorse. They're the one that gets all
mhm.
the work done, and they're, do two or three or four people's jobs, and then, they feel like they can't leave because then, okay. Well, Ed, we had some technical difficulties just now with Zencaster, and I don't remember what I was saying. So let's just move on to the next segment because that's
Well,
a smart thing to do.
well, everybody, it is time for Snacktendo. And oh goodness. So there's a prime drink called Glowberry that that I had at work just to see how it tastes because kids like these prime and hydrated drinks or whatever they are. And it is disgusting. I'm like, ugh, this is terrible. Um I was just like, someone save me from. I mean, I drink it all, and I'm just like, I need an Arizona so bad
Oh
to
God.
get rid of this drink, this taste. So I had some Arizona. I've been drinking a lot of the mango and watermelon flavors of the Arizona drinks because we got a lot of
Hmm.
them. Um, that's pretty much it. There's we're getting rid of our Halloween candy soon, so I'm waiting for a lot of our Christmas candy and stuff to come out. And we really haven't got anything like new. I know we got the red velvet Oreo cookies, but I'm like, this is familiar. I mean, we had this before and stuff. So not pretty much nothing new and everything. But we did have still get some more of the spicy queso funyuns, and they were delicious and everything. Um,
Shocker.
while I am on vacation though, I will be trying to find some new food spots to try. Um, hopefully, because I was thinking about, man, I want some fried rice and pot stickers, and I
Mm,
know where I could get them, and just decided, nah, I'm not gonna get it today. I'm gonna get it next Friday.
hmm. Okay.
So,
Okay. Okay.
and I know there's a stuffed steak and cheese burrito at Taco Bell, but I haven't tried it yet.
Sure. Yeah. Um, well, Ed, I had another massive burrito last weekend. Did I
Yes.
send you the picture of it?
Yes, you did, which
Huh.
it made me end up ordering Chipotle and getting the burrito bowl
Dude,
and stuff.
it was long, it was girthy. It sounds like an episode of After Dark. But man, dude, that was the biggest burrito I think I've ever.
But it looked shorter for some reason. It didn't look as long as it normally does.
No,
Maybe it was the.
it was bigger than, so it was like as fat as it normally is, but it was longer.
Mhm.
And so dude, it was longer than like a 12-inch dinner plate.
Okay.
It was like falling off the edge of it. Um but I got the Chipotle chicken on my burrito with refried beans and
Mm.
grilled jalapenos and onions and both types of cheeses. And I got the Diablo salsa, which is the hot salsa. And then I got the
Yes.
habanero salsa, which is the extra hot salsa.
Ooh,
Yeah, it was awesome. Uh,
it's dangerous.
I know it felt dangerous coming out.
I will say I like Domino's mango, uh, the mango one habanero on the chicken sandwiches, but I sometimes will be like, just put a little on it. Don't do too. Don't drown it.
But dude, it was really good. It was man, I could eat there every weekend, like for real. I could
That's
just
why I want to visit so I could taste it.
oh, dude,
It's
it's so
just
good. It's so good. But hey, we're if we find if this house is good for us, you just should just come see the house. There's a
yes.
there's a finished there's a finished area in the basement that's like
Hmm.
perfect for an office or something.
Yeah.
So that'll be good for this stuff. But yeah, man, dude, that and then my wife got the taco salad and I ended up eating some of that too because the shells are so good.
Ooh.
The taco shells from there for taco salads are like crispy and just delicious. They're so good, man. And if you get in like if she leaves like some vegetables and some cheese and some chicken left over, man, you just
Yeah.
scoop that stuff up with the rest of the shell. Oh, it's so good. So good. It
And
even tastes good soggy.
I haven't tasted I haven't had a taco salad in a long time. Because normally our taco salads, everybody, I'm sorry, they normally do like Dorito nacho cheese or that's what my mom. Um, there is a Mexican restaurant uh about 25 minutes from me. I may go there tomorrow and get a burrito and a salad and
Hmm,
everything.
hmm. Dude, it's so good, man. It's so good. I
Well,
could eat there every
everybody,
day, man. I could eat there just every day. Be the
and
best day of my
it sounds
life.
like it's fresh and homemade. Like it's uh um like they do a lot
Um,
of their stuff their own
I
in a
mean,
sense.
I think they probably do most of it. Um, It's like, so when you go to a Mexican restaurant, like like an quote unquote authentic Mexican restaurant, even though it's
Mm-hmm.
just like American versions of Mexican food. Uh,
Yes.
it's uh, it's like that, but it's basically Chipotle with authentic Mexican. You know, what do you call it? Ingredients. Jeez, my brain is just not working. Uh, so that's kind of what it is. But it's, oh my gosh, so good, man. Ah, it's so good.
All right.
Also, I'm a
That's
frequent
awesome.
customer, and they gave me a $5 coupon if I use the
Are you
app to order.
serious?
Hmm.
Yes. So in
Yeah,
other
dude,
words,
I have a
tomorrow.
I have a rewards account there.
So in other words, tomorrow. I might get another picture to be like it. I don't
No, because
less.
we are we're watching my nephew, and
Ah.
we're gonna. I was already told that we're having a pizza party,
Oh,
which is
nice.
fine. Which is fine. Uh,
Huh, awesome. Awesome. Well, everybody, it's time for Playing with Power. And Corey,
yes.
I Super Mario Wonder.
Yep.
So we're just going to talk a little bit about it. I know you haven't played as much, Corey. Like I said,
Uh-huh.
everybody. Hopefully, we're going to have Grayson on to talk Super Mario and Sonic. This deserves the 10/10. This deserves all the reviews. There's some levels on just in the first world. I'm like, oh, they snapped. Like this is a whole new Nintendo for Mario Brothers game. Like this is a whole different direction and everything. And it keeps you I like the fact that it keeps you thinking at times and coming up with different strategies and stuff. And I like the new enemies that they have in here. Um and one some of the music for some unknown reason feel like they grab music from all pretty much all the games. Like something
Hmm.
feels like Super Mario Brothers 3, something feels like Galaxy, um Super Mario Brothers 2, uh one of them felt like Sunshine. I'm like they really just went deep into the Mario lore of games and just took different styles of music and just made it like literally beautiful and everything. And they're great arrangements and stuff. Um, and yes, it is a mixture of other games, and I love that and
Uh-huh.
everything. Um, when I already have one of my favorite levels, and I don't know if I could talk about it if you haven't played it yet.
It's fine. I'm
It's
not, dude. It's a Mario game. I'm not exactly worried about spoilers.
it's so it's all the piranhas and
Mm.
everything. And if you get the wonder, they all come out and start singing, and it goes into an auto scroll thing, and they're singing in there. It's one of the most funniest yet amazing things
Hmm.
in the game. I'm just like, I love when like the unexpected really becomes the unexpected. Like they changed a lot of this stuff, and it's so funny and everything. And so yeah, Wonder Super Mario Bros. Wonder definitely deserves the 10. It deserves to be and Game of the Year nomination. And I'm still playing a lot of it and just enjoying my time. People are finishing that just along with their finishing Spider Man 2. But yeah, I'm loving Wonder and stuff. Any thoughts, Corey?
I really think the art style is a great change up. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely one of the. I think it's one of the best looking Switch games. I'm not exactly to a point where I'm ready to call it a 10 out of 10. I mean, I here's the thing. I've only played the first two levels in World 1, okay? So I'm not like, this isn't an overall review or anything. So don't
Yes.
attack me. But I mean, to me, like, aside from the the wonder flower mechanic, which is an interesting mechanic, it feels like a 2D Mario game to me, which is fine. I haven't found that, oh my god, like this is amazing moment, right? Like, to me, to me, it just feels like an evolution of New Super Mario Brothers so far. And I
Yeah,
know it's going to change, and I know other things are going to happen, and I'm going to find that wow moment. But like as of right now, like I don't I don't think the elephant suit is very interesting right now. Uh, like it adds different mechanics, like you can water some flowers and they'll give you some coins or
yeah,
something that you're looking for or whatever, and like you can run through blocks or whatever. But there's nothing that like really I don't know. It's not as interesting as like the Tanuki suit or the cape or the penguin, even the penguin suit from New Super Mario Brothers. Like it's cool. It's fun. I think the level design is pretty creative. But just by the first two levels, and I'm gonna play more tonight when we're done recording for a little bit. But it's it's great. I haven't found that aha 10 out of 10 moment yet.
understandable.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean,
uh,
again, like the first what 3 or 4 levels in any Mario game are usually like not tutorial levels, but they kind of teach you the mechanics of the game moving forward, right? And
yeah,
so I know that, and I love 2D Mario games. I do want to say though, this game, the animation in this game is flawless. I think I really am enjoying that aspect of it. I love the art style. I kind of hope they use this for a while moving forward.
yeah.
It
It's very detailed.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of like a 3D version of of the Mario and Luigi art style, like the
Uh huh.
like just that's what the characters kind of remind me of. Uh, they're recognized. It's kind of like what they do with with Mickey Mouse every 5 or 10 years, right? Like they'll redesign him slightly, but still
Hmm.
recognizable everywhere.
Yeah.
And it also reminds me of like back in the day, like the NES looks different from Mario 2, looks different from Mario 3, looks different from Mario World. And then when you get to the 3D games, like that's when the art style started to really stick, right? Is like this
Uh
is
huh.
clearly what Mario's going to look like for the next 30 years. Um, and I know they've experimented, like I said, like Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario and other games like that. But this is really the first time since Mario 64 came out where the art style has significantly changed, and I love it. I love it. So
Yeah, and I think even beyond just Mario and his animations with the characters, the enemies have their own animations and stuff. And I'm just like what people seeing from the trailers don't even showcase everything that you get in the game. Like I kind of like the Hammer Brothers in here because like they hop and they throw it, but they like do a little hip hop kickback thing when moving back, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like
yeah.
there's just so much detail in this one and everything.
Mhm.
So yeah, yeah. Like I said, we're gonna have more to talk about. Um, but I did play Borderlands 2. I actually got to play with a new friend of mine, or a person I know from Twitter. We played some Tuesday, I believe. And we just had a ball. It was so much fun and everything. And we're gonna be learning each other's styles and probably be playing more. But Borderlands 2 on Switch, I have started up and played and been enjoying. Vampire Survivor on Xbox. I've been enjoying also playing a little bit of that. I still need to go back and finish Resident Evil 6, and I need to install Dead Space 3. But I did pick up Alan Wake. Alan Wake 2, but I haven't started that, everybody. But like for Switch, man, just Mario and Borderlands. And once I pop in Sonic, I'm ready to experience that game and everything. And I think I need to hear Sonic with my headphones, like hear the music and everything and
Mhm.
stuff. Because I think that's one thing. Like I don't worry about Sonic's level design like I do Mario's.
Mhm.
Um,
It's
but
because
I'm like I
every game they're like, we're rebooting Sonic, and then the next that game doesn't do well, and then they're like, we're rebooting Sonic, and it's like, okay, okay, guys,
right.
Relax.
And right, but I think Sonic does have great music. They do have great soundtracks. So I can't wait to hear this one. I smash. I'm sorry, everybody, but Sonic the Hedgehog 2 of Sega Genesis is still my number one soundtrack for the Sonic series. Like that thing is a banger.
Yeah, it's yeah, I really like the Casino Zone. Um,
Yeah,
and then the third level in the woods, I forget what it's called in Sonic 2. I really like that too. I'm
I,
sorry, I forget the name
I
of the zone
like
specifically.
I like when Tails is flying the plane and you're on it, and it's the first level. Like
Hmm.
man, I- that's the thing about Sega Genesis, and we're gonna get into family news. Everybody,
Are we?
once Corey talks about playing with power and everything, um, man, Sonic 2 and Streets of Rage 2. To me personally, could give Nintendo that the Super Nintendo a run for its money for soundtracks. Like I still say those two games probably are the best games on the Sega Genesis, first party wise, and just have a top tier of all time soundtracks. Like there's no denying.
Yeah.
Um and it feels like it's those two games to me personally feel like they could only work on Sega Genesis and not Super Nintendo in the
Yeah.
sound.
Well, I mean, the Genesis One had that crazy like chip in it, though, right? I mean, that was their
Hmm.
whole selling point was whatever that chip was, right? So,
Yes. Um, but Corey, what have you been playing with Power?
besides Mario Wonder, I've just been trying to make it through Spider-Man Remastered to play Spider-Man 2. I am done with the main campaign, and I'm
Hmm.
halfway done with the DLC. And the only reason why I'm playing the DLC is because they said that and a lot of people told me that the DLC plays a big part in the second game.
Yeah.
So I'm playing that. I probably have like 3 or 4 hours left to go. I'm not 100% sure. I'll probably wrap it up this weekend and then play Miles Morales next week because I know that game's relatively short too. I'm not trying to platinum these games or anything, but it's the DLC is okay. The first part was interesting. You know, the first part is the Black Cat storyline, and she's like very her interactions with Peter are very flirtatious, and you know they have like a we'll say a interesting special relationship. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's fun. I mean, I know people really love this game when it came out. I'm not 100% sold that it's like an amazing game, but
Hmm.
it's good. I mean, it's an Insomniac game. It's very polished. It's very the movement is very fun. The gadgets for Peter are very fun. So you know, I mean, at the very least, Insomniac has never made anything less than a good game. And I would put this if I was to rank it, if I was to put a number on it, I would probably say like an 8.5. Um,
Okay.
I think the story is kind of poorly paced, in my opinion. In the main campaign, like they do this really interesting thing with Shocker at the beginning, where like you fight him, and then you go and find out more about him and why he's doing this, right? And
Hmm.
you know, you find out a little bit more about him, and then they make you feel a little bit of sympathy for this character before you kind of just like fight him and destroy him, right? But like it's an interesting take on the villains, and then you know the rest of the villains in the game uh you fight them a couple times, but like they're all crammed into like the back half of the third act of the game, and like to the point where you're like fighting two of them at the same time, and you don't get to know these characters, right? And they kind of shove all the boss fights at the end of the game, and it's like why couldn't you put two of these characters in the second act and then two of these characters in like the first part of the third act before you go to the final boss, right? And it's like and like learn about them too and why they're doing this, because like before you go fight them, like you get into this office space and just read their like these dossiers on them and why they're doing the things that they're doing. And like Vulture has, spoilers, I guess, for the boss information. Vulture has spinal cancer, and he's doing this because he was promised like a longer life, if not a cure, right? And like
Hmm.
that's really interesting. Why didn't you like let us play some of this stuff out? And then Rhino's stuck in his suit, and uh Electro is like, you know, do has some other I kind of forget all this stuff already because I didn't really feel like reading a lot of them, but like, why didn't you just let us learn that stuff through the game instead of on this, a big paragraph of text? And it's like, I would have liked to seen that explored more throughout the main campaign, but it is what it is. The game is fun. Um, I mean, the game was spoiled for me, but there's some interesting twists in the Spider-Man story for these characters. Also, if you haven't played it already, but that's all I've been playing is that.
Okay. Yeah, I think the lowest game for Insomniac is Fuse. I think that's the lowest one.
Probably. That's the one that they did with for EA, and all their heads were cut off in the box art.
Yeah, when they changed the whole game from its original, because it was supposed to be like a comedic 4-player shooter, and then
Yeah,
I wonder if there's a story about that. Maybe someone
I'm
probably did
sure.
some
I mean that
research.
that I mean on some PlayStation podcasts that game gets brought up a lot because it's an Insomniac game, and obviously Sony owns them, so
Yes. So
I'm not sure. I remember playing Fuse and I was like, oh, this is kind of just like a Gears ripoff, which was fine
yeah,
because I mean there were other Gears ripoffs that I liked, like Binary Domain from Sega was really fun. Clearly a Gears ripoff. So
yeah. Well, everybody, it's time for Femi News.
is
Corey,
it
take it away.
all right? Ed, the major story, really just the only news story. I was scraping the bottom of the barrel for news this week. Hogwarts Legacy was finally shown off for Switch. Nintendo really is pushing this game on their social media platforms, and Avalanche is obviously pushing it again because this game's going to sell bonkers on Switch. I think,
Mm-hmm.
especially because like it's priced cheaper than the Series X and the PlayStation versions still because those games are
$60.
it's still full price on those consoles. uh, but yeah, I mean they released some screenshots. No trailer yet, which is a little bit concerning, but they released screenshots. It looks like a game ported to the Switch. I will definitely be getting it and trying it out because that game, as we're sitting here now,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end of October, Hogwarts Legacy is probably my game of the year so far. Um, so I want to see how it runs on Switch and maybe play through some of it again. Uh, kind of it's exciting that this game's coming out and wasn't canceled like some other recent Switch games. I think it looks decent. I think it looks okay in the screenshots. I mean, obviously there's visual fidelity differences, but I don't it's not like Mortal Kombat 1. So, I mean, how do you feel about this? I don't think you played the original version, right? Like the when it
I
came
have
out.
no. I haven't played the original version. I will be. I'm gonna look forward to playing the Switch version when it comes out. And hopefully, I might get like the Series X version also, but it depends on like if it's available on Black Friday
It's
and
on
stuff.
sale digitally right now if you're interested.
uh,
Just throwing that
so,
out.
um, but yeah, I am gonna pick it up for Switch.
Yeah.
Everything.
I mean, if you're not looking forward to it on Switch, everybody, like it's still worth checking out on the other consoles. So,
Hmm. And
in my opinion.
for a lot of people, it is their game of the year, or it's a big nomination for game of the year. So you know,
Yeah. I can't I'm excited. I'm glad this game is finally coming out. Uh Anything else to say on this, Ed?
nope. Just hopefully they have a locked 30 frames per second on it
Yeah,
Like, hopefully, it runs well.
that's like the main concern, I think, right? Is just making sure the game runs well. I don't care if it's at 720p or anything, right? Like
Hmm.
I want it to have that uh frame rate, and people won't hopefully don't have any issues with that kind of stuff. There is an 8 gig patch, by the way, on day one for the Switch version, uh, which is pretty standard for third party games on the console, unfortunately. So at least it's not a code in the box, though. It is playable from front to back on the cartridge,
Cart, yes,
but obviously that 8 gig patch will be significantly more helpful.
yes,
Speaking of new games on the Switch, Ed, have you heard of this game called Mario Party 3?
yes. I have.
Yeah, the third one is coming. It's finally coming out on the Switch.
Oh, great. I prefer Mario Party 4. That was on the GameCube.
I prefer 2 and 4 are my favorite Mario parties, I think. Although the new ones are pretty fun, except
Yeah,
nobody ever wants to play with me because I'm apparently the only person on the planet that enjoys a little bit of Mario Party.
I enjoy Mario Party with you.
Yeah, I don't want to play with you.
Wait, what?
I'm just kidding. Oh man, that's funny.
But yeah, I'm going to play Mario Party 3. This is the N64 version. Everybody, I'm going to play it and have a good time because I never got to like really sit down and play it. And I want to.
Yeah, it's I mean it's Mario Party, but I still think the N64 versions are the best ones. They're just
Hmm.
the best. So all right, Ed, our next story. Disney Dreamlight Valley. This one's mostly for me, because I love this game. Disney Dreamlight Valley is leaving early access, but there's been a change, Ed. It will not be free to play when it comes out of early access like they originally planned. They also announced their first expansion pack. Uh,
Hmm.
they didn't really go into detail on it, but it will be getting a really, uh, I guess, pretty expansive expansion that will cost money. This will be the first update that will cost money for them. I bet they just expand the island or give you more space on the island because like with all these updates and stuff, it's really hard to kind of like keep track where all the characters are and all the
Hmm.
resources and everything. So expanding the island, I think, is a good move for them. But yeah, it's not coming free to play, which is really interesting.
Which which is fine because I think I, I say it's fine because they got a lot of content out, and a lot of times they put this game on sale digitally.
Yeah, it's
Like
on
the
sale all the time.
ultimate, like the digital, like the ultimate version of stuff, you can literally get that for like $50 some, $50 some, or even cheap. Or if you don't want to use your bonus points or anything and pay the 60, they kind of give you a good return value on there,
Yeah,
with coins and stuff. So I would say that before anyone trip or anything, if you want to get this game, catch it up on the sale on the eShop or
yeah,
wherever you decide to play it. I mean, because it's always a good sale, and you like get the ultimate or deluxe for edition or whatever, and you get a lot of that content for free, and everything, get some bonus stuff.
yeah. So I'm excited. Can't wait for this update, this expansion. So
Yes.
well, Ed, the last story, which I know we don't have anything to kind of say about it because we're not Fortnite people, but Fortnite is heading back to the original island that launched with the game, and a lot of people are really excited about this. Um,
That's
how
good.
I mean, how do you feel about this, Ed? Like, I mean, I think
I I really don't care.
yeah, I was trying to make a conversation out of it, but you ruined it. So
Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm just not a Fortnite kind of guy. Uh,
yeah,
but I will say the Power Wash Simulator's Back to the Future DLC looks good and everything. I'm just like, oh, that's cool and everything. So, uh, But I mean, that's cool for people um who are into Fortnite and they want to go back to the old island and everything.
Yeah.
With these new characters and special characters and stuff. I think it's cool for them to do that and stuff.
Hmm.
So that
Yeah.
it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Also, I wonder if they're gonna, because like my nephew plays, but he wasn't allowed to play because he was too young. Obviously, like when
Hmm.
this game came out, he was like 3 when the game came out, which makes me just vomit in my mouth because I still feel like this is a new game, but it's 6.5 years old. Um, isn't that God, that's so gross? Uh, so he wants to try to get some of the older skins if they put it either in the battle pass or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
so also, I think this is an easy one for Epic too, to because like it's been enough time where people can be nostalgic about stuff about Fortnite, which is also really gross in my opinion. Uh, not that the game is gross, just like feeling nostalgia for a game that everybody kind of feels is still relatively new and relevant to the gaming industry. Uh, you know, it's like to me, it's like and also feeling nostalgic about Minecraft, which is also a game that's like 12 years old at this point, 13 years old. It's
Oh
just
wow.
gross, man. I feel so gross thinking about these games, like how old we're getting, and it's just, oh, man. It'd be like someone feeling nostalgic for Mario Odyssey, Ed, if to put it in perspective. And it's like, oh my gosh. Anyways, so good for Fortnite. I hope people enjoy it. I hope people, do the thing.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Ed, we've got one other side story to talk about Xbox. For people who don't
And
know,
this one threw me off for a loop because I was when X got announced, I'm like, wait, what is everybody talking about? What did I miss?
yeah, it's so Mike. For people who don't know, Microsoft gave this or has this big leadership shakeup, and it has kind of there's been structural changes over at Microsoft for a little bit over the last couple weeks or months, I guess I could say too. I'm trying to find the graphic. Somebody, there it is. Okay. So there is leadership changes over at Microsoft. Obviously some people are leaving, and some of these won't stand past the end of the year because of certain people also leaving because of acquisitions and stuff. So
Hmm.
Phil Spencer is still the CEO of Microsoft Gaming. He oversees Xbox gaming, PC gaming, any type of gaming that involves Microsoft. Um,
Yes.
so where the leadership changes come in, um, so the big one, I think everybody is looking at. Sarah Bond is now the president of Xbox. She's running Xbox now. Uh, f- from a
Super well deserved.
Yeah, dude, she's awesome. I mean, she's clearly going to take over everything once Phil decides to retire. Uh, but yeah, Sarah Bond, new president of Xbox. She's the president of, and she'll oversee console, Game Pass, third party kind of support, all that kind of stuff, right? She's
Yeah.
obviously her and Phil Spencer and Aaron Greenberg and even sometimes Matt Booty have been traveling uh, around the world to kind of secure third parties. Obviously, they went to a lot of European countries because Activision is very active over there after that
Hmm.
acquisition, Blizzard. Uh, and she's been very involved in Sega being a big part of Game Pass. So
Yeah.
she's it's well deserved. And then the other kind of side of this is Matt Booty is now he was in charge of first party studios. Now he is the president of game content and studios, which includes Bethesda. He's now overseeing Bethesda's output of games as well. So he's in charge of Xbox Game Studios and Bethesda, all of Bethesda's. Um, so I hope he
But not
can man.
fully ZeniMax, just Bethesda itself.
No, No, ZeniMax. He's in charge of the game of Bethesda Game Studios, id, Machine Games, all of Bethesda's game studios. He's in charge of all of
Okay,
it.
because I thought ZeniMax was over everybody.
Well, ZeniMax is the company that owns everything, but everybody knows it's just Bethesda.
That's okay.
Uh, I think that most people that they're kind of interchangeable. I know they're not. I know there's a lot of technical reasons why they're not, and business reasons why they're not. But uh, so he's going to oversee Bethesda as well. Very interesting. And
Kind of
then
replacing Pete Hines, I believe.
no, Pete Hines was head of communications. I mean, I don't know if he de facto was running stuff over there after
Hmm.
they sold, and the previous the previous owner of Bethesda passed away, right? And so that's why he wanted to get this deal done before he passed. But and then there obviously there's other leadership changes and stuff as well. There's a new corporate vice president of human resources. There's a new corporate vice president of finance, and then Bobby Kotick, who I know a lot of people want him out of Activision. He is staying on until the end of 2023, and then he will most likely be exiting that role.
Hmm.
There's a whole graphic here that we can look at that people can go search for. It gives the whole leadership kind of breakdown.
Breakdown.
Uh, and in 2024, everybody will report to Phil Spencer as the CEO of gaming. And I expect him to stay on until the next console launches. That
Which they're
I bet
thinking it.
2028,
Yeah,
which
I
is
have read
only
that.
which is only like 4 years away. Four and some change, which is ridiculous because it sounds so far away. Uh,
And half of their studio games have even came out that they announced. So I'm just like,
yeah, I,
interesting for
I
that to
mean,
happen.
Xbox gamers. We've been kind of starving for content for a long time, right? Like consistent content. I would say there's been a lot of good stuff come out, but it's not
Hmm.
consistent. Uh, but I think until that next console comes out, we're gonna have a pretty major game every. I would say every 6 weeks to 2 months. They're gonna be on some sort of Nintendo type content release, hopefully at some point.
So I wonder is because of the pandemic and a lot of games getting pushed back and Microsoft kind of missing 2 years of having their new console out with new games. I wonder will they push back the release of a new console to like maybe 30 or 31 or anything.
I think it depends on what PlayStation does with a pro type console and what their plans are. I think they want to let this console ride as long as they can,
Hmm.
but it could be 29, it could be 30, right? But like I think they really want to see what the competition does next before they make any other console type moves. I really like that digital console that was in the those leaked documents, right? And there was also a
Yeah,
handheld in there, right? But I think the ROG Ally might supplement that kind of uh, thing. Even though I wish they would just make a portable Xbox, but
because I'm assuming front by 28, all the first party games that they announced will be out for Series X.
by
Um,
2028, you said?
yeah, like
Well,
Stalker 2.
I bet
Uh,
a lot of them are out by 2026. The ones they've announced are or 2027 at the latest. I know State of Decay is in some sort of trouble. Um, I yeah, I know a lot of games are like smaller experiences. Like South of Midnight is probably a double A experience. Although
mm,
that game looks really cool. I hope that game is good because I really thought that We Happy Few was going to be that game, their breakout game, right? I mean, Contrast
yeah,
was good, but I mean, no offense, nobody really cares about Contrast, right? But We Happy Few was supposed to be like their big breakout. Remember, they delayed it so they could actually add a story mode to it because it was just supposed to be
yeah.
some sort of weird survival game.
Yeah, and I
Um,
know Outer Worlds 2 will be a little bit
mhm.
later,
Outer
but
Worlds 2, Avowed. Man, you think about all the things they have announced that aren't out yet for in terms of first and second party.
yeah,
Towerborn, Hellblade, Clockwork Revolution, Outer Worlds 2, Avowed. Uh,
Hellblade 2.
I said Hellblade 2.
Um,
Thanks for listening.
I didn't hear you say Hellblade 2.
This is the second one I said. uh, yeah, and then obviously stuff that was leaked, or kind of revealed as exclusive, like and obviously like Elder Scrolls 6 apparently sometime in the next 5 years. If I were them, I would just hold Elder Scrolls for the launch of the next console, because that would be a
See,
total system seller. But
and that's what I was wondering. Will is Tango Works and Double Fine the only two studios who's possible to have something brand new for their next console? Because like Tango
well, there's
Works,
Tango GameWorks is working on two games right now. Supposedly, one is supposedly a JRPG,
okay,
and one is The Evil Within 3, which I mean that was when what's his face
Shinji
was still there.
Mikami.
Yeah, when he was still there. So I don't know if they've pivoted away from that or
Hmm.
what, but I think they have two games in development. They obviously just released one this year. I mean, I
Yeah,
would
because
imagine
like
a smaller team would be working on uh, Hi-Fi Rush 2 or some sort of
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
sequel.
because like I'm not gonna count Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop for Xbox
Oh,
as
I would
part
in terms
of
of that studio's kind of release schedule. I
counted.
totally would.
I counted at for Series X. I think I only could count like High Five Rush, and reason being is because I feel like Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop were contract games, definitely.
Yeah,
You
but I
know,
mean that studio still like that time that they developed those games are still. I'm not saying
mhm.
like obviously they're clearly not Xbox exclusives, but that development time still existed. It's not like, they that time comes back. It's their next games some of their games are probably early in development. I know Tango has two teams. Arcane clearly has two or three teams, right? I mean, if you include
Uh-huh.
Austin and Leon, right? I think I their Arcane Leon's next game is clearly Deathloop 2. They confirmed it without confirming it. The voice actor leaked it actually.
Okay.
The voice actor who plays Colt leaked it on accident because it's the same code name. It's like the same code name 2, right? And so
Yes.
uh, but also there's a rumor that Dishonored 3 is in development, which would probably make a lot of people happy. So, I
Yeah.
mean, there's so many games. I think what I would like to do at some point, and I don't know what show to do it on, and or if we do it as like a random video or podcast or whatever.
Hmm.
But like, I would like to make a list of all of the studios that Xbox now owns,
You know what?
and
Let's do that for a Thanksgiving
what.
episode.
Yeah, I figured we could do that for Thanksgiving or Christmas or something.
Yeah, because at least we would have enough information. Because definitely for me, I'm going to have to be like, okay, I need to go back and watch the Microsoft presentations of all the stuff that they announced in games that haven't came back out. Because like I
Mhm.
said, I've been watching the old E3s, so Microsoft is important because I'm not going to lie, Microsoft been having some good E3 press conference for the last 3 years.
Yeah,
Like
we just
they've
haven't seen
been
the fruits
really
of that
good.
labor, though. I mean, the what are the games we got from those press conferences? We got Halo Infinite, right? We got
Hmm.
two Forza games and Starfield
Yep.
and Redfall. I mean, dude, say what you will about Redfall, but that reveal trailer or that first cinematic trailer they showed at the end of what 2 years ago
Yes.
was
Hmm.
made me excited for that game, and then well, it was
Yeah.
Redfall.
Uh. Um. I just said that game's name. Psychonauts
Yeah.
2
Hmm.
is another game and stuff.
Yeah, and we know they're working on a new IP. We know there's another flight simulator coming out. I wonder if they'll buy anyone else. We know there's, I mean, Gear 6 obviously in development.
Yeah. Um, I think the only one we're rooting for them to buy is Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, I mean, I would like them to buy Crystal and IDOS, right? But also like Asobo really makes sense for them. The
Hmm.
um, Plague Tale and Flight Simulator people, which is hilarious that that studio makes both of those games because they couldn't be any different from each other.
But
Uh,
I feel like, and we're gonna move on after this. I feel like Crystal Dynamics should be their final purchase for right now because I'm just like, you guys got a great lineup of developers that you guys acquired, but they need games out.
yeah,
You
and
know.
I think, I mean, they're already working with them, right? Like IDOS Montreal is working on Fable with Playground.
Hmm.
Crystal Dynamics is basically making Perfect Dark now because the initiative has, you know, the thing is though, if Embracer Group ended up closing Crystal Dynamics, that whole team would probably just go to the initiative. I bet Microsoft would try to hire most of them
Oh,
for the
they were
initiative
sniped up with the quickness.
because a the ex Crystal Dynamics studio director now runs that studio. Um, and I mean that studio is a mess right now, but I wonder if that would have any like I wonder if that would transition would happen anyway, but
Oh,
well,
Perfect Dark would look a whole different way.
well,
Of Chris of the
they rebooted it. I think it's going to be a third person stealth action game now. Is the
hmm.
rumor, which is what I want it to be. But because, like, dude, when you have, sorry, no offense to first person Perfect Dark, but when you have Halo, Doom, Wolfenstein, Quake, and now you have Call of Duty, you know, there's no room for Perfect Dark to exist in that world. There's no room unless you change it drastically. And the one thing that they're
Yeah.
missing is the one thing that Crystal Dynamics is extremely good at is a third person action game. So,
And don't forget, everybody, Perfect Dark was a rare title.
yeah, well,
So,
yeah. Uh, yeah, so I just want to talk about that leadership change for a minute because I think it's important to the industry. I think Sarah Bond
hmm.
has been breaking industry standards for a long time. I mean, I think she's one of the first, if not the first, uh, woman to run one of these big, you know, platform holders. She's the first executive black woman. I mean, that's a big deal in and of itself with an industry that's has been so, I don't want to say male dominant, but it has been, be honest, since the 80s when it really started going, and in the 70s with Atari, right? I mean, she's an important figure for more reasons than just being the president at Xbox. So congratulations to her, congratulations to Matt Booty. Uncle Phil is putting in the work. So all right, Ed,
Yes.
let's move on. Like I said, we're probably going to talk about Xbox on some sort of, I would call it a Patreon special for Thanksgiving or Christmas. So, all right, it's time for Pack Watch on 11/1. I can't believe it's November already. Alien Hominid Invasion is coming out. Old friends and bitter enemies await you as you invade Earth alongside a mothership full of alien friends. Blast, beam, and bite your way through the endless swarm of enemies as you and up to 3 of your fellow hominids cause mayhem with a huge arsenal of weapons, mutations, and acrobatic maneuvers. There's a lot of 3 games coming out on November 2nd. Star Ocean's Second Story R.
Yes.
In this science fantasy RPG, choose between Claude and Reyna. Play through their perspectives and unlock various endings. Recruit allies and defeat foes in this fast-paced real-time battles. Also on 11/2, The Smurfs 2: The Prisoner of the Greenstone. with your crack team, and the help of the Smurfo mix, liberate the village of the Smurfs from the grip of the Greenstone.
That sounds like a movie tie-in game.
I think it is actually. I think there's a new
Oh
Source
no.
movie coming out at some point. Thirsty
Wonderful.
Suitors is also coming out on the second. Can Jala learn to love herself and heal the wounds of her past? Thirsty Suitors is a stylish, story-driven adventure that unfolds through turn-based battles, skateboarding, and cooking.
That one looks really good. Uh
I know
and
everybody's
everything.
talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. Um, all right. Sorry, I lost my place. On 11/3, we are getting the second first party game of 3 in in like 4 weeks. WarioWare Move It is coming. Grab a pair of Joy-Con controllers and get moving as you gently shake, punch, dance, wiggle, and even curtsy through over 200 lightning fast micro games. Chop bamboo, break out of jail, return a curtsy, and more as you master some really ridiculous moves. So those are all the major games coming out. Like I said,
Hmm.
in terms of NSO, um,
Yeah, for me
Mario
it's
Party.
WarioWare. Yeah, WarioWare and Star Ocean. And I'll probably try out Alien Hominid. I think I'll pick it up. Uh,
Yeah, I man, I don't know if I'm gonna pick up any of these. I'm trying to save up for some of the major games coming out, but I mean, I think Alien
Understandable.
Hominid would probably be a good choice because that game was really good on the GameCube,
Yes.
in my opinion. So, but that's it, Ed. I know we have a couple questions in Discord, so we could probably answer those at this time.
Okay. Shamus the Kilted Gamer asks, would the next Zelda game be an open world adventure or a traditional top down game? It's gonna be an open world adventure. They already announced that for the future. This is going to be this is what they're gonna be going with. If they
Yeah, but
do a top down, oh go ahead.
no, you keep going. I'll go after.
Oh, I was just gonna say if they was gonna do a top down, I think it would be a remake of one of their older games.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm like, well, Minish Cap is already on NSO. Um,
Yeah, but so is Link's
outside,
Awakening.
yes. Um, but I don't think they're gonna. I still feel like they should remake Zelda 2.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
think
one that really needs it.
yeah, I think Zelda 2 would be the smart move, but also I would wonder if they would remake uh A Link to the Past and package it with A Link Between Worlds in some sort of HD style.
Oh
Uh,
heck yeah! Please
uh,
do.
I mean, I think packaging those two games would make sense, but I also think that they would need to look relatively similar. And I think a remake is okay because you can still clearly play the original on the Super Nintendo uh, part of NSO. So
Hmm.
I would actually think that would make sense. Um, I think that would be probably the best option is to remake those two games and sell it as a package for $60 or 70 if it's on the next console, I guess.
Yes. So,
I would vote
Corey,
for
do
a
you have
top down.
questions?
I have
So,
one. Um, this also comes from Seamus the Kilted Gamer. What will the next 3D Mario platformer be like? It'll probably be some version of Mario Odyssey with new levels and power ups.
the Bowser Inside, not Bowser Inside Story. 3D World plus the Bowser game. Um, and everything. But I think
Bowser's
it'll be
Fury.
like that Bowser mode, Bowser's Fury. I think it'll
Yeah,
be that mode that they would do and
yeah, I
everything.
I do too. Yeah, I really think it's going to be open world. I think the Bowser's Fury was like a proof of concept of what they want to do, and I think that
Hmm.
that part was relatively well received by 3D Mario fans. I know some people don't really care for the open world stuff, but I think overall that game was uh, received well, especially because you get like giant cat Mario fighting giant Cat Bowser or Dark Bowser or whatever. And I it's gonna be something like that. With an even bigger open world. I bet there's like a central hub that you return to, like the castle.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I think it's gonna be laid out in an open world style, honestly. So
Yeah.
make Super Mario 3D World 2. That's what it should be. The best 3D Mario game.
I would have my money ready to go
Yeah.
if they announced that on a Nintendo Direct and Best Buy had it for up for pre-orders. Oh, I'm going to give them my coins.
Yeah.
No, so Corey, any final thoughts?
Not really. I don't know. I'm excited to take some time off and, you know, because we aren't recording anything over Thanksgiving, and I actually also took PTO off that week. And
Yes,
so I'm not going to do anything except for obviously spend time with my family. But when everybody goes to bed, it's game time. It's all about video
shoot,
games.
I already got Thanksgiving off, so uh, I will work what I need to work, and then Thanksgiving, I'm gonna eat, sleep, and play games. And then probably plan out my Black Friday stuff. Probably get my orders in and everything, and then hit the stores to go pick it up and stuff.
Yeah.
So well, definitely for me, everybody. We're about to get into November, and the time is about to change. So everybody's falling back. So hopefully you are prepared for that for next month. Uh, we got some big games coming to all the platforms, but definitely for Nintendo Switch. Um, so hopefully you guys get your money ready. And Black Friday, we're definitely gonna be looking at the sales to see what games people miss. Cause and to be honest with you, I really feel like Xbox is gonna get a lot of the sales.
Mhm.
PlayStation might get some. If you don't own a lot of the Nintendo stuff, I think it would be a good time to get it because, like,
Mhm.
you want to understand why that Game of the Year list have those games. Definitely a lot of Nintendo games. A Black Friday would give you that answer and stuff.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I think Xbox is going to have a lot, especially physical games, because
Yeah.
obviously Xbox is really, really pushing their digital storefront. And
Mm-hmm.
with the news that Walmart and Best Buy are going to stop selling physical media, I know Best Buy that doesn't include games, but it's going to. I guarantee you it's
Yeah.
going to at some point. So
So, but I think they're gonna stop DVDs. I
yeah, that
haven't heard
it's
about the Blu-rays and 4Ks and stuff.
it's DVDs and Blu-rays and 4K Blu-rays and
That's
CDs
interesting.
and CDs. I think they actually already pulled CDs at some point, but
Yeah, they can't find that shoe. Best Buy was the place to get a CD. Well, for me, it was like Sam Goody because I would always go to the 9.99 rack to see what new album came out. You'd be like, yeah,
yeah.
this stuff.
So get your 4K while it lasts. That includes online stores. But yeah, I think Best Buy wants to probably stop selling physical games altogether, and then Walmart said right now the Walmart said they're going to stop selling physical Xbox games. Uh, so
Interesting.
I guess
Go
I
stock
don't
up.
know.
Go get your games before everybody starts turning them into GameStop, and GameStop be like, nah, we're not gonna take it. We know what you guys doing.
Right. By the way, Ed, side
You
tangent. I just bought Immortals of Avium on Xbox, and I'm pretty excited.
How much was it? It's on sale for.
The digital deluxe version was on sale for $40, 39.99.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I just got it digitally. I'm very
Oh,
excited
I'm
to
gonna
play
have
it.
to.
I've been wanting to play this game for a while, and I couldn't pull myself to pay. Like, I mean, look, we play a lot of games. Obviously, we
Mm-hmm.
prioritize Nintendo stuff because of this show, and book club games and that kind of stuff. But this is a game I wanted to play since I saw it, and also I want to support that studio because they are in. It's been hard times for them. So, anyways, I'm done now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna snag it. Cause that's a good price for if it's the deluxe version. Yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna snag it.
Yeah. I
Well,
don't
with
really
that,
know.
everybody. Oh, go ahead, Corey.
I was just gonna say I don't really know what you get with the digital deluxe version, but it was cheaper than the regular version. So
I hear that. Well, with that, everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Happy Halloween to you all. Since it'll be Halloween with this episode comes out. Hopefully, you guys got some great candy, have some good eats, watching some spooky movies or animated movies or whatever you prefer. And everybody, please be safe. We will see you guys next time for Nintendo Pow Block. Bye, everybody. Woohoo!
bye everyone. Have a great day. If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/bossrushmedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.